Hi everybody, I'm Christine. Welcome to our farm. This is Cabin Creek Homestead, a farm that we moved to not but 3 months ago, and we are trying to turn this 10-acre property into a homestead. And in the last 3 months, we have filled our barn with many animals, and we are enjoying this immensely. And this sweet boy next to me is cousin Virgil. You get extra points if you know where his name comes from. Put it in the comments. He is incredibly timid and shy, and he was rescued from a kill pen. He is extremely sweet, and the fact that he's standing here beside me without being bribed, without being coerced, is just a testament to all the things that we've been doing to try to work with him and train him. Today's video is all about the ways that we have trained him using the lead rope, and we've seen incredible progress in just 3 days. And I want you to tune back in for a future video. It will actually be the prequel to this video, because in order to get him to perform at all, we had months of desensitizing and bonding that had to happen before he was going to let me come anywhere near him. This donkey was so afraid of everything. Every noise spooked him. Every hand gesture, especially a raised hand, which tells you the kind of environment that he came from. Any movement at all was just a terrible spook to him. But we have been working with him diligently to form a bond and to form a very deep-seated trust. The fact that he's standing beside me now and wants to be in my company, I don't have this very tight, is just a testament to how far he has come being able to trust us. So stay tuned for all the things that we did to lead up to this moment. So getting the lead rope even attached to his halter has been very tricky. He's incredibly head shy, and head shy is a term for my non-equine people. You can probably guess what it means, but head shy just means that they really don't want their face touched at all. So there is a certain amount of space and respect that you can give an animal and just not invade their personal space if they don't want it. But we do need to desensitize him to having his face touched for a number of reasons. So even though he doesn't know it, this is the best thing for him, to put him in an uncomfortable situation, to kind of force him to grow in that area, because we need to have a halter on him. We need to be able to halter him and in the future possibly bridle him. And if he is head shy to the point where he can't even be touched, that's never going to happen. One of the biggest reasons that we want him to be halter trained is so that he can be captured and be contained if a vet, God forbid, should ever need to come and help assess a health situation. We also need to be able to control him when the farrier comes and does his feet. The other thing with the lead rope is my goal, if I could have my dream come true, I want him to be a trail riding donkey. I want him to be rideable. Donkeys make exceptional animals to ride on a trail because they are incredibly sure-footed. They are also very, very keen on self-preservation. You cannot force them over a creek that they think is too dangerous. You can whip them and they will just shut down. So he is the ideal animal to protect my kids. I have my animal for trail riding if her feet ever heal, and I would love to saddle him up and have him to be able to handle what's going to come at him on the trail. So leading him around with children on his back, well, that's not the first step, but eventually when we get to that, I'm going to be leading him with a lead rope. And if he is unwilling to come with me when I ask him to come, then there's not much hope I have of turning him into a trail horse. Trail donkey, that's the word. Are you nibbling at me? Am I tasty? Oh, I do have a carrot in my pocket. I forgot. Is it good? So I have some footage from the first day and the second day, and I'm going to throw them up now, and I'm going to do a little voiceover to explain what I was doing. Virgil has been on a lead rope several times, I'm sure, but it's never been very easy for me to handle him or control him. So I started with the bare basics, simply letting the rope stay on him so that he knows he is caught and him getting used to the weight of it. In just a second, my daughter walks kind of near him to throw an apple into the pasture, and there's a pretty big reaction. Pay attention to the way that I'm holding my rope in the left hand. It is not looped over my fist. If for some reason it was looped over my fist and he bolted like that, the whole thing could tighten and cinch around my hand and cause some major damage. So something to think about if you're also working with animals out in the pasture like this. He's very, he's very hesitant to trust me right now. He just got very scared. So here we are just trying to bring it back to ground zero and calm it all down. I'm showing him the lead rope, showing him that I'm not going to use this to hit him. I want every small interaction to be a positive interaction. In this first training session, I decided to go ahead and use food as a motivator. Virgil is very food motivated, and that was very helpful in this very first training session. But I will caution you that this is not the standard practice for training any kind of equine. If you did this every single time you were teaching a new skill, and all of a sudden you found that you forgot your treats or didn't have anything in the house to give them, but you had to go out in the field and work with them, they will realize you have nothing to offer and don't want anything. So the motivation here needs to be the relationship. I want him to be motivated just to please me, even if there's no reward of food. Coming up in a second, I make a mistake, and I didn't understand it when I was in the moment, but when I watched the video play back, I looked at his body language and saw a little bit about what I could have done differently. So I'm about to ask him to walk into another circle. This looks a lot like lunging, but it's not lunging. What I want to do is get close to the areas of his body that he is normally scared of, especially his rear end, and right here he bolts. If I had paid attention a little bit more to his body language, I would have seen that he was backing up and he was pivoting on those front feet. When he's pivoting around on those front feet and swiveling his back end away from me, he is protecting his blind side from me. And the wild predators are going to always attack from the back and lunge for the neck. And his duty right there was to protect his back end. If I had watched his body language, I probably would have waited till he felt comfortable to ask him to keep walking in a circle. Here I extend my arm a little bit just to let him know I'm coming close and I want you to move your back end. And he's moving his front legs with his back legs, standing parallel to me instead of pivoting on those front legs. And it's such a small victory. This means that he felt safe. He was not scared that I was going to come up behind him and whip him with the other end of the lead rope, or God knows what he is used to before he came to us. But each of these little steps is just such a victory. And very soon we can do full lunging in the round pen and even start to desensitize him to the saddle pad and perhaps the saddle itself. And I think one of the most interesting things, look at that child. I think one of the most interesting things I've learned about working with donkeys is you can't beat them into submission. There's a lot of animals that have a pain threshold that you can eventually break their spirit and they will comply with what you want. But donkeys are not necessarily pain motivated. They can endure a beating and still refuse to give you the movement that you're asking for. And so before I could even step into this training session, I knew that we had to have a bond. We had to have some amount of trust between us. Right here, I'm just introducing him to this hard bristle brush. I need to groom this guy. He loves to roll in the dirt and he loves to roll in manure, and eventually he's going to have a bath. But he's very scared of everything I introduce him to. And so by putting the food on top of the bristle brush, he's going to have to decide, how bad do I want the sweet feed? Is that brush actually going to hurt me? I'm going to try it out. Oh, look at that. It didn't kill me. And so I'm trying to bank as many small positive interactions with the things that bother him as I can. And we will do this over and over and over again. He did not like walking around the bucket. He is definitely guarding his tail end and trying to pivot on those front legs. So I want to reassure him again. I think he didn't like the fact that the bristle brush was inside the bucket. These early days are long and slow, and they are a little bit tedious, but they make it worth it in the end. There's no sense in trying to rush it when rushing it would end up being a very poorly done job. To finish up with, I have a very short clip from day 2 of the training, because day 2 was a lot like day 1. Here I decided to take off the lead rope and see how he would respond to the same hand movements and the same verbal cues. And he's a little confused because he knows he's not latched, but he's totally understanding it. and giving me what I'm looking for. So day 2 was a lot of the same as day 1, but this was a victory. The end of the session, taking off the lead rope and him staying with me and giving me the movement that I wanted. Obviously, if I ever want to get a saddle on this guy, we've got a lot of work to do before we ever get to that point. And that is going to happen. We're going to form a respectful, communicative bond by doing groundwork. And the groundwork is going to happen at the other end of this lead rope. We do have a round pen coming soon, and I'm very excited about that. We can do lots of good work, and I really want him to be able to respond to verbal cues as well as to like hand gestures. And they are so smart that they can definitely do that. I see a lot of horse owners that get their horse home, and the first thing that they do is pop a saddle on them, and they expect that they're going to make training progress by being up on their back. But right here, we're at eye level. I'm not putting any kind of pressure on him, literal weight on him. Of course, I'm never going to ride him. He's too small for an adult. But oh, I'm so sorry. I talk with my hands. That was scary, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I'll do better. Come on. That's my boy. What a good boy. So when we did this time and time again, I would give him a little bit of sweet feed every single time he did what I want. Today, the reward is the relationship. The reward is pets and scratches on places that I know he likes, or just simply giving him attention. He is very relationship motivated, and that was just a huge gift. You're not in this training video. Come on. Come on. Thank you. All right. Virgil, come. What a good boy. What a good boy. And these are just small baby steps, but every desire to please will be rewarded. What a sweet angel. Good boy. What a sweet boy. Are you ready? We're going to do a walk. You ready? Come along. Good boy. Very good boy. And we're going to turn. I know you feel so left out. I'm sorry. We're going this way. Come along. That's my boy. Come along. Whoa. Good boy. That was amazing. That was amazing. All right, we're going to rotate, go round robin. Very good. Whoa. Such a good boy. And let's go back. Come. Come along. Come along. Well, hi, Thelma Lou. Do you want to be in the video too? You stink. What did you? Round robin. And come along. Come along. Let's go all the way down this time. Round robin. Gonna have those legs. Good boy. And come along. You want to be trained too, Thelma? Move, goat. Move, goat. He doesn't know how to do this with you. Good boy. Look at that. 2 birds with 1 stone. I've got a goat that gets trained. Come on, it's okay. Come on, right here. Good boy. This is exactly the way that I need him to behave at the end of a lead rope. Now given, this is pretty easy because there are no external factors that could be extremely scary. There's no new horses, there's no wildlife like deer or bunnies, which could, make him a little bit scared. I don't have children running around in the background. There's no plastic bags floating around. So this is easy, but at its core, this is exactly what I need him to do. I don't need to be yanking on him and having to feel like I'm forcing him to go somewhere he doesn't want to go. I want him to trust me enough to simply walk along beside me. So we're going to try this again and see how it goes. Round robin. Good boy. And come along. Come on. Good boy. So willing. Woo. Good boy. That was amazing. Let's go. Round robin. Turn it for me. Turn it for me. Come on. Come along. Here we go. That's my boy. Oh, good boy. Thank you so much for being part of Virgil's rescue story. He is just such a special donkey, and we invite you to come back and join us for more rescue stories here on our homestead. Much love to you all. Have a great day.